Wadi krap, kumpuchom,
Ah,
sawadi,
hello. Wait, what do you?
sawadi,
Sawadi. Sawadi.
Sawade, sawadi krap, Krub.
Sawadi Krupp.
Oh, beautiful.
I've been studying
Sawadi krap.
Spanish, which is an easy language for like two
Yeah,
decades, and all I
I
can say
know.
is "Hola, cómo estás?" So, Thai,
Yeah,
we don't have any leaders that are going to sit down and resolve any kind of a problem. You see it that the problem they're having, although they seem to be making a little bit of progress on some kind of gun legislation, but you don't have leadership. And I'm going to tell you something which is probably you're not going to like. Um, and a lot of liberal people I know wouldn't like it either. But one of the only leader that I have seen on the left or the right, and whether I agree with their positions or not is irrelevant. They've shown what I consider leadership, and that is a Liz Cheney. She's put her 2 feet squarely on the ground and told the American people what she believes they need to hear.
yeah.
Whether you agree with it or not, it's at her own peril. And if you have somebody who's willing to do that kind of a thing, we need to get leaders on both sides who've got enough guts to really work on the problem and not just mouth a bunch of,
Okay.
sound bites.
I agree. I agree. But then what would you say about Joe Manchin?
I don't listen. I would
Same
be
thing.
willing
He's a
to.
Democrat, but he doesn't believe that Biden was doing good with the $1 trillion big back build
Well,
back better.
well,
He and
listen.
Kristen Sinema both said it's not good for America. And you know what? When they broke it down, they had what is it, $2-3 trillion? Only 9% was going to the COVID relief, which they said it was all going to COVID relief. But there was millions of dollars for Schumer's bridge to Ottawa. There was millions of dollars for Pelosi's underground tunnel in the
Then you're going to have to you're going to have to say all the money that McConnell got in Kentucky out of it. I mean, it applies right across the board to all the politicians.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't care who was getting the money. I'm just saying, don't lie to me. Don't piss on me and tell me it's raining. I used to watch Al Jazeera TV, and
I did too.
at
That
first I
was the
thought it was,
best.
yeah, at
Yes,
first I thought it was
the
like,
best.
is this coming from Afghanistan? What am I?
No.
And I
Very
started
good.
watching it.
I
But they
missed that.
were English speaking reporters,
Yes, I
you know?
missed that.
And yeah, it's great. So BBC America, they're good. Now they're the ones that had interviewed Border Patrol people, and they said the wall that was not finished, the part that was not finished near Del Rio, Texas. They talked to these border people. They interviewed the captains, the lieutenants, whoever the higher ups, and they all said the same thing. They get over 200,000 people a month, and last year was 2.1 million. This year so far, 1.5 million, and we're only halfway through the year. And they said they're overwhelmed. They show these videos of migrants just literally coming across the Rio Grande. 2,000 people a month are flooding our border. Last year in 2021, we had 2.1 million. This year, we're only into June. We have 1.5 million. That's almost 4 million people that have come over in the last 2 years. What are they going to do? They're coming over looking for work,
They're not.
the ones that came over legally from other countries, they're going crazy because they did it the legal way, the right way, and this administration is with the open border is allowing people to just come across. So
Well, you need
nobody's gonna have a job.
you need to have a strong border. We probably could do better, but as is always the case, there's always two sides to the story. If you're going to listen to Fox and Newsmax, then it's a disaster. If you listen to CNN or MSNBC, it's a challenge, but it's always somewhere in between.
100,000. I think that's more than a challenge. I don't care who you listen to,
It
CNN
can
or
be
Fox.
more than a challenge, but you only get one side of the story if you just listen to one network or the other. You get their
Listen to
editorial
the Border
comment that
Patrol
they
in
make.
Texas. The Border Patrol, these guys are talking every day, about the people that are coming across. They don't have the manpower.
Okay.
So, to me,
No matter what you're talking. Listen, if you talk about the January 6th committee, I'm listening to some guest on Fox, and he talks about how big a failure it is, how CBS was destroyed the night that they played the committee hearings, and that may be true for CBS.
right.
If you listen to that particular network, that's your viewpoint. If you
Well,
listen to someone else, they'll tell you that Fox got beaten by MSNBC on that night. Both
ABC,
things can be true, but you get one
canceled.
story. You don't
ABC
get the whole picture.
canceled the hearings to air the hearings because they cited technical problems. They weren't getting ratings. They weren't getting people. What'd they get? 12,000 people, 120,000 people? You know, I can go on. I can go on.
No, wait a minute. What are you talking about, 12,000 people?
The night that it aired on ABC, the first night, the hearing.
They got 20 million viewers, supposedly, and
Right.
Fox was beaten by MSNBC that night.
That night?
Yes. But was CBS beaten, or ABC, or a network that displaced one of their, comedies or one of their hit shows? Probably.
Yeah.
But all told, they had 20 million viewers, and Fox was beaten then. But
Yeah.
you don't get that. You don't get you never get a whole story, no matter who you listen to.
Right.
You get the editorial position of Fox or MSNBC.
BBC America always has stuff on, and they're pretty much, bipartisan. They don't take sides. They just do. So I like to watch BBC America, which is where I get some of the facts and figures. Like they talked about CNN, one of the lowest rated news show. What'd they say? Their top show, and I forget who it was, their top rated show gets beat by reruns of Bonanza and National Geographic's Storage Wars or something like that.
Who's the guy that that's created CNN? I can't think of his name anymore. With that, married to Jane Fonda.
Turner.
I mean, when CNN first came out, I thought it was insane. Who wants to watch cable, watch news 24/7? Are you nuts?
Yeah.
But I wish someone would come along and allow me to make up my own mind. I saw a little segment it was on a CNN on a morning show I like the guy. He's a bald-headed Shkamarch. I don't know. It's whatever his name is. I like his show. And he had a segment on masks. And he had two scientists, doctors, who knew one another, seemed to respect one another. One had just written an opinion in the Wall Street Journal, the other in the New York Times. One said the masks were good. The other one said, I don't know if there's not really that much evidence that they're good. And they actually talked.
Yeah.
And the guy would say, well, based upon the study in Israel. And the other guy would say, well, yeah, but what you're not taking into account is the control group. And we don't know anything about that. And they had an intelligent conversation. And I left thinking, wow, wouldn't it be nice if all news was presented like that? I'll make up my own mind.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Factual based, you don't get that. I wish someone would come along and like a Ted Turner and create that for me.
I had a very good friend years ago. We're not friends anymore. We lost touch years and years ago. He and I used to talk about the Good News Network. And we said, why don't we start a network where it's just good news, nothing else? And I looked at him and I said, Michael, no one would watch it because we like the controversy. We want to, you get the left and the right fighting. No, mine's better than yours. No, mine's better than yours. And just like you and I were doing just now, I mean, I play devil's advocate. I'm not a stupid man, and you're not a stupid man either. We form our opinions, but we form our opinions based on fact, not the hearsay or not the opinions or the thought processes of people who say they're journalists and they're really just hosts. They're just faces.
Well, I think a lot of these, especially in the opinion people, they're actors that are hired to present the perspective of the network.
Well, we've already discussed the pineapple on the pizza, and I think it was Paul who responded, yes, that's blasphemous. But here's number 2, Lanza's Law: no pineapple on pizza.
Yeah.
And do eat your pizza with a fork and knife.
That was not a pizza, but the Seinfeld episode where he ate the Mars bar or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
He cut it and he eats it.
Yeah. No, I've seen people in restaurants, and I want to go over to the table. Fold it. Fold it.
Tanya coming to pick you up?
Tanya's here. Yeah.
She's here.
Yeah.
Tell her I said hello.
Okay.
And 79 days? Is that it?
79 days, my friend.
All right. Hasta la vista.